Yeah. Trials of faith. Listen. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came too. Oh yeah, he was among them. And the Most High asked, where you coming from? And he said, going fro in the earth. I'm from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said to Satan, have you considered my servant, that there is none like him in the earth? Perfect. An upright man who feareth God. Satan said, do Job fear you for naught? Have you not made a hedge about him and his house and everything he has? Man, you bless the works of his hands, his substance is line. Put forth your hands right now and you curse it to the face. Just give me chance to devour. You know I roam around like a lion. You know I've been around for a minute. You know I got tricks, I'ma get them. You know that I'll accuse them. I'ma try him and prove him and cause them to stumble. Oh, they ignorant of my devices. They ain't ready for the wiles of the devil, no. They ain't ready for the wiles of the devil, no. They ain't ready for the wiles of the devil, no. Ready for the wiles of the devil. Don't let Satan get advantage over us. Gotta stand against the wiles of the devil. And the Lord said to Satan, look, everything that he has is in your power. The only boundary is don't touch him. And Satan left from the Lord's presence. Then they stole all his asses and oxen. All the Sabians fell upon them. With the sword they had slain Job's servants. And the fire of the Lord had consumed some. And the fire of the Lord burned the sheep. And only I alone escaped to tell thee. But that ain't the worst of it. Your camels also were stolen by Chaldeans. And my servants were killed with the sword. And as I was speaking, there came in another. He said, oh, I got something to tell you. I escaped, but your sons and your daughters were eating and drinking. And the wind came and it blew down the house, and it fell on them all. Now their children are dead and gone. Job arose and he ran his mantle. He fell on the ground and he worshiped. And even through all of this, Job committed no sin nor charged God foolishly. Just give me chance to devour. You know I roam around like a lion. You know I've been around for a minute. You know I got tricks, I'ma get them. You know that I'll accuse them. I'ma try him and prove him and cause them to stumble. Oh, they ignorant of my devices. They ain't ready for the wiles of the devil, no. They ain't ready for the wiles of the devil, no. They ain't ready for the wiles of the devil, no. They ain't ready for the wiles of the devil. Don't let Satan get advantage over us. Gotta stand against the wiles of the devil.
Death on the beat, death on the beat, death on the beat.
Wiles of the devil.
Death on the beat, death on the beat.
Gotta stand against the wiles of the devil.
All right, shalom, y'all. Most High in Christ bless. Hope everybody's Sabbath is going good. Today's topic is these shall hate the whore. So we're going into some prophecies today and just trying to show you where we're at. Who's this?
Yours?
No. But anyway, we're trying to show y'all where we're at in prophecy. Because, you know, like the scripture said, so what if some do not believe? Because we run across people that don't believe. But all you got to do is look around you. Look at the daily events. We are in those days. Well, somebody told me they didn't think, oh, yeah, I know who it was. Didn't think that they would see this in their lifetime, but they got to change their heart. When you look at the stuff that's going on. Let's open up. Let's go first to Exodus chapter 17. We're going to start at verse 6. We're going to start at verse 6. for you studious brothers who read, and when we read this, you should see something. You should be like, oh, damn. Today we got Brother
Eliezer.
So he's reading for us today, and we got Roy on OBS today. Go ahead. Exodus chapter 17 and verse 6.
The book of Exodus, chapter 17 and verse 6. Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb.
Upon the rock.
And thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it.
Thou shalt smite the rock, and water shall come out of it.
Dang.
Yeah, thou shalt smite the rock, and water shall come out of it. Look at Roy shaking his head. Hey. Deuteronomy 32. Deuteronomy 32. And verse 30. Give me 30.
Oh, 30.
31.
30 and 31?
Yeah, 30 and 31.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 30. How should one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 to flight, except their rock had sold them, and the Lord had shut them up?
All right, go ahead.
For their rock is not as our rock, even our enemies themselves being judges.
Right. So our rock is Christ. It's Christ. So it says smite the rock, right? And there shall come water out of it. Man, we got to hit this real quick. And there shall come water out of it, that the people may drink. My goodness.
That the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel.
So you know what? So it says smite shall come. Yeah, smite the rock, and water shall come out of it. Zechariah 13. Verse 7.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 13 and verse 7. Awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow, saith the Lord of hosts. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered. And I will turn mine hand upon the little ones.
So it was Christ Christ was smitten. And then what? At day of Pentecost is when the Spirit came upon us. Yeah. What else? What else?
Man, this was beautiful.
Genesis 29. Two more verses. Genesis 29 and verse 7 and 8.
The book of Genesis, chapter 29 and verse 7. And he said, Lo, it is yet high day, neither is it time that the cattle should be gathered together. Water ye the sheep, and go and feed them.
Right. Two different flocks, right? Sheep I have of another foe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
And they said, We cannot until all the flocks, be gathered together. Until they roll the stone from the well's mouth. Then we water the sheep.
So he's that rock. Until that stone is rolled away from the well's mouth, then we feed the sheep. Then we water the sheep. Matthew 28.
Drop Genesis.
Yeah, drop Genesis, Matthew 28. And verse 1 and 2.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 28, verse 1.
This is when you can now water the sheep. Matthew chapter 28, verse 1 and 2.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 28, and verse 1. In the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn toward the first day of the week, came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre.
Right, go ahead.
And behold, there was a great earthquake, for the angel of the Lord descended from heaven, and came and rolled back the stone from the door, and sat upon it.
Right, so the stone was rolled away from the well's mouth. Christ is that well of everlasting water.
Dang. Oh, my God. Oh, man, I pray y'all see it, man. I pray y'all see it.
Yeah, so like in you reading,
Yes.
right, you read in Isaiah declaring the end from the beginning. It's all here in the beginning.
You mean predestination?
All right, Exodus 17, now verse 7.
The book of Exodus, chapter 17 and verse 7. And he called the name of the place Massa and Meribah, because of the chiding of the children of Israel, and because they tempted the Lord, saying, Is the Lord among us or not?
Oh my God. Negroes. Go ahead.
Then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim.
So, there's another place you'll see is say Amalek is Numbers chapter 24. Amalek is the first of the nations. Amalek is the first of the nations when we came out of Egypt to come against Israel. Right? Keep going.
And Moses said unto Joshua, Choose us out men, and go out fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of God in mine hand.
So this, as you read this is direct parallel scriptures for Revelation chapter 12. We overcame him with the blood of the Lamb. Here, that stone is put underneath Moses, meaning you got to combine the commandments with Christ. Now, what verse is it? Verse 11.
What?
Verse 11.
Verse 11. And it came to pass, when Moses held up his hand, that Israel prevailed.
Mm-hmm.
And when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed.
So when we don't keep the commandments, Amalek is going to prevail. That's why we're in captivity right now. And when you look at it, they're behind everything. Even the way we behave, they're behind it. Go ahead.
But Moses' hands were heavy, and they took a stone and put it under him.
A stone. That stone, which is Christ, that rock. Go ahead.
And he sat thereon, and Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands, the one on one side and the other on the other side, and his hands were steady until the going down of the sun.
So the only way to overcome them is to keep the commandments in the faith of Christ.
Right.
With that rock to Christ. Now, verse 16.
Verse 16, for he said, because the Lord has sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation.
So they are the head of the serpent. Amalek is the head of the serpent, the head of the beast. Now, and we went over this not too distant past, and we were looking at. We showed how the Lord said, when time comes and y'all get settled in the land, go and kill all of them. Go and kill all of Amalek. But Saul didn't.
Right.
Agag got away. He wasn't killed, but anyway, and he had offspring that later on comes back into the picture. Those are the Herods. They come from Amalek. The same people that's in the land today. That's so evil. Hold on. that reminds me, we got to hit Deuteronomy 25. Have to make this point. These people, they're killing people by the thousands. But when you touch the hairs or any of their hair, they scream bloody murder. There's a video going viral on social media where the guy, his son, got killed. He's in the service of those people with the small hats. And they're at the funeral, and he's screaming and crying. And there's a Moabite, she's watching the video, and she's eating a cookie like, mm-hmm. Then there's a sister, she's looking at it on TV, and he's screaming, and she picked up the remote and muted him. Mm-hmm. And went on, kept eating too. Like, don't nobody care. Look at what y'all do. Look at how they behave. But you want everybody else's sympathy. That don't make no damn sense whatsoever. People getting sick of it.
25 and like 17 or no?
Verse 17 and 18.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 25 and verse 17. Remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way when ye were come forth out of Egypt.
Right, so, it's going to explain it. Keep going.
How he met thee by the way, and smote the hindmost of thee, even all that were feeble behind thee, when thou wast faint and weary.
So when we came out of Egypt, everybody knows we're the children of God. Everybody's got the fear of God on them and don't want to touch us. That's why the lady Rahab helped us when we went to spy out Jericho to make the walls fall down.
Yeah.
There was a fear of the nations because of what our God did for us coming out of Egypt. Read the bottom of that.
It says, and feared not God.
And he feared not. They do not fear the Most High. They don't. They just do whatever they want to do for whatever their purpose is, and nothing else matters. And people are starting to catch on to it. Oh, they call us Goyim. And they say we don't even deserve to live. We're just cattle. When you look at the job of what we're supposed to be the rulers with Christ, right? We're supposed to keep the earth in order. We're supposed to keep peace on earth. I don't know what them folks think. Something wrong? Yeah, I don't know what them folks think. It don't make no sense. We supposed to keep peace on the earth, be the judges of the earth. I don't know what the hell they think. And they waiting for a Messiah to come. I don't know who their Messiah is. Who gonna come back and do anything for them? Look at their behavior. I wish I had that. Oh, I forgot all about that, man.
That joint is
crazy. Jesus. Yeah, so they feared not God. Amalek don't fear God. They just run through the earth doing whatever they want to do. Bomb this one, bomb that one.
Verse 19?
Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 19. Therefore it shall be, when the Lord thy God hath given thee rest from all thine enemies round about, in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. Thou shalt not forget it.
So the Lord didn't do it. I mean, we didn't do it. So in the future, the Lord gonna do it. He gonna make sure he does it. Right. Now, Ezekiel chapter 35. See, these people have no idea what is coming. I think me and you went over this. That's what inspired me to make this class.
Verse 2?
Yeah, verse 2.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 35 and verse 2. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, thus saith the Lord God, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate.
Right, so this is Mount Seir, meaning all of Edom, the whole of Edom, right? Go ahead.
Verse 4, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord.
Go ahead.
Verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the innocent of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
Now, Royce, you see behind you, see that map behind you? You'll notice to the right, you'll see Edom, and then to the left, you see Amalek. Yeah, you see Amalek, because they know where Amalek dwells.
Dang.
Edom, even though they're Edomites, the Idumeans, that's the Jewish people. That's the highest sect. Yeah, those are the ones that ruled over us during the time of Christ, all the way through Acts. Verse 6.
Verse 6, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sit thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
Right, so since they have not hated blood, everywhere they go, bloodshed. They're like a virus. Everywhere they go, there's bloodshed. Matter of fact, even Christ took a shot at him. Hold on. Matthew 24. But those Edomites that stayed behind are Amalek. You have the other ones went and made Greece and Rome, and it also was in Syria. Yeah, Matthew chapter 24 and verse 28. What is the symbol of the Edomites? What's the symbol of the Edomites?
Bird, eagle.
The eagle, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 28. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together.
Wherever the carcass is.
Eagles are just a glorified vulture.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's a vulture. It's the top vulture.
The most protected vulture on earth.
That's what they are. They are. They're the great vulture. They can smell that blood, bro. They be up in the sky. And what we're getting into today is the war going on against Iran. How are they attacking Iran? What means are they attacking Iran?
Missiles.
Yeah, air dominance. They're not sitting back shooting missiles. They flying jets on sorties. I think that's what they call them, sorties. But they're missions. And they just dropping bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb. Well, they drop 6,000 or something. They just running mission after mission after mission. They do it from the sky. The way the scriptures is set up, you just...
And they're unclean animals.
Yeah, they unclean. Period. Back to Ezekiel 35.
Verse 7.
No, give me, jump down to verse 10.
Verse 10. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 35 and verse 10. Because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there.
What two nations and two countries they gonna possess? They want to possess. The northern and southern kingdoms, land of Israel, as if the Lord was there. And that's what they're doing now. Oh, they're God's chosen people. They're the Jewish people. Well, show me in the Bible where the Jewish people are God's chosen people. They don't even know their damn tribes. Damn. Devils. Go ahead. Verse 11.
Verse 11. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will even do according to thine anger, and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them. And I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee.
He's going to judge them. He's going to judge Idumea and Edom, right? But it said, I will do even according to thine anger, their anger, right? And according to their envy. Where does that come from? Where does their anger and their envy come from? Genesis.
The times of the morning my father are finished.
Yes.
Kill my brother Jacob.
Verse Genesis chapter 27, start at verse 41. This stuff is funny.
27, is it 41?
Yep, 41 and 42.
The book of Genesis, chapter 27, and verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
See where the hatred comes from? It comes from us getting the promise and not them. That's where the hatred comes from. Go ahead.
And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah. And she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doth comfort himself, purposing to kill thee.
So he takes comfort in himself in killing us. That's what they do. And they want that promised land so bad they willing to kill everybody and everything. Nothing can stand in their way. Diabolical. And it don't belong to them. Back to Ezekiel 35. And jump down to verse 15.
Verse 15. As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate.
So because we got ran out of there, they took joy in that thing. They rejoiced at us losing the land, our inheritance.
All time with Obadiah. Same.
Yep.
Same energy, same spirit.
Same spirit. Go ahead.
Because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea.
And all Idumea, Amalek. Go ahead.
Even all of it. And they shall know that I am the Lord.
Yeah, chapter 26, jump straight down.
You mean 36?
36, yeah, my bad. 36 and 5.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 36 and verse 5. Therefore thus saith the Lord God, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea.
All Idumea.
Which have appointed my hand into their
Appointed my land.
into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey.
Right. So it said it in 35 that they wanted to, they was going to take the land, both countries, and they appointed the land with the possession and the joy of all their hearts. And they be talking about 1948, the prophecy came true. Yeah, this one right here. This one. Not that the God's people return. That don't make no damn sense. They got on Russia Airlines and flew over there. Or that, what was that boat called? The Exodus 1948. Yeah. Remember when the Houthis was bombing them? Remember that? Early, it was like the end of October. Not end of October, but the end of 2023. and the Houthis was bombing anything that was trying to come through that waterway. They was bombing anything. And then they made this video, and they had this little ship, and they had 1948 on the side of it, and they was using it for target practice.
That's crazy.
That was funny.
Wasn't you hitting a little bit on something like this with the brother earlier today when you was asking him, like, when we fled, where did we go? And he was like, we went to Africa. And you was like, well, okay, well, how did we get here? Right? You was hitting on the same thing right here.
Yeah, just trying to make the point that we fled into Africa and from there brought over here. But he was saying foundational, meaning we come from there. That's why I asked him, have you done a DNA test? Because if you do a DNA test, you're going to have the same DNA as us. They came from Western Africa.
He probably should have told you that we got on, what is it, Russian airline? What you just said.
All right, where we at?
Verse 6? Or you want something else?
Jump to verse 8. We'll be done right there.
We're still in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 36, and verse 8. But ye, O mountains of Israel, ye shall shoot forth your branches, and yield your fruit to my people of Israel, for they are at hand to come.
Right, the Lord is going to bring us back. He's going to do it himself. He's going to send the angels with a shout and gather us out of all countries.
It would have been breaking down the wall with our brother earlier. Because that's the part he just don't see. He think we're supposed to be winning already. Come on, the Lord missed his time, missed his window.
Right, yeah. When he said that, I was like, dang, tripping.
You think your timeline.
Yeah, you ain't never going to get back. If you taking it upon yourself, what you going to do with this man?
How many bullets you got?
Right. How many bombs?
They got more bombs than you got bullets.
Right. If they want
Picture that.
They could. We could be eradicated whenever they feel like it.
Yeah, where you gonna get your bombs and your guns from?
Yeah, you got to get them from him.
We didn't even get to that. That's why
Right.
That was the point you was making, like who you gotta go to for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make no sense.
I ain't cursed.
All this man got to do is close the store and you done.
And hungry.
Right.
Right. You done.
Yeah, he didn't answer any of those.
You talking about you ain't cursed, all right?
He didn't answer
You
any
can't.
of those. Even with the thirst, you was like, where you get your water from?
I mean, I go around, you don't know none of it. It's a curse.
So, let's go to Psalms. Just trying to build up to a point right now, y'all. Oh no! Before we go to Psalms, let's go to Jeremiah 51. Jeremiah 51. So you had that great kingdom before the time of Christ called Babylon. Oh, I'm tripping. There you go. Because Ezekiel is past Jeremiah. And
24? No, not 24.
Jeremiah 51. Damn. I kind of want to start out of the. Let's start at verse 1.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 1. Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will rise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind, and will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land.
Trouble gonna come. Go ahead.
For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifted himself up in his brigandine? Excuse me.
Brigandine.
Oh, brigandine. Dang, I butchered that. And spare ye not her young men. Destroy ye utterly all her hosts.
Go ahead.
the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and that they that are thrust through in her streets. For Israel had not been forsaken for Judah of his God,
Nor Judah of his God.
of the Lord of hosts,
Mm-hmm.
though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel.
Right. So destruction with this, just like the destruction came back then, the destruction is coming here to us. Right. Verse 6.
Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense.
So he gonna render unto Babylon a recompense. So he's saying flee from the midst of her. That means to flee from sin, so you don't get caught up. Because if you sin it, you're gonna get caught up with her punishment. Right. Verse 7.
Verse 7. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad.
So the Lord used Babylon to punish all the nations round about. Yeah, because in Jeremiah 29, he told Jeremiah to tell the nations. Let's go to it real quick.
Sound like Revelation 18.
Yeah, it is.
That sounds just like it.
20 Jeremiah 27. 27 and 8. He used them. He used those nations, the ruling governments, to punish the other nations every time. Start at verse 7.
The book of Jeremiah.
And 6.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 27 and verse 6. And now have I given all these lands into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant. And the beast of the field have I given him also to serve him.
Go ahead.
And all nations shall serve him, and his son, and his son's son, until the very time of his land come. And then many nations and great kings shall serve themselves in him. And it shall come to pass that the nation and kingdom which will not serve the same Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, and that will not put their neck under the yoke of the king of Babylon, that nation will I punish, saith the Lord, with the sword, and with the famine, and with the pestilence, until I have consumed them by his hand.
By his hand. You don't think the same thing going on today? The white man is punishing every damn body. And people are waiting on the great tribulation. What the hell? When thousands, you know what I'm saying? Somebody killing kids, just sniping kids, headshotting kids, walking down the street trying to find water. You don't think that's tribulation? You can't listen to these folks over here, man. These Edomites, they have not felt this pain, especially this country right here. In World War I and World War II, what was the number of casualties that the Americans suffered? They weren't even in it like that. They didn't get in. They only got in World War II at the end. Yeah, they don't know what it's like over here. Verse
9. We want to drop down.
No. We're done with this. We're done with this. Back to what was we at 51?
Yeah, Jeremiah 51.
Bro, give me pick back up at 12.
Okay.
For time. We'll be here all day.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 12.
Did we read 7?
Huh?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why the nations are mad. Yeah.
Yeah. Drunken Hawaiian.
Verse 12.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 12. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen. Prepare the ambushes, for the Lord hath both devised and done that. which he spaketh against the inhabitants of Babylon.
So it said, prepare the ambushes. Go ahead.
O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness.
Thou that dwellest upon many waters. That means rule over many nations. We're going to show you that towards the end. Verse 14.
Verse 14. The Lord of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, surely I will flee with men.
Fill thee.
Fill thee. Dang, what the heck? Fill thee with men, as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee.
So when you look at caterpillars, they'll be in a tree, and you'll just notice a tree, and it's got all this white stuff on it. They be in them joints in cocoons until it's time for them to come out and fully bloom. So the Lord is saying, I'm going to fill you with men as with caterpillars, meaning sleeper cells. And they look now, and it's like, yeah, we think we had some Iranian sleep. Bro, them people been here for years and years and years and years.
I think I remember seeing some videos like that where they were purposely like digging certain holes in the ground and putting these like little cocoon shaped things like to put people in it. It was like some blue or some black ones.
But a caterpillar, so in the springtime, we're in the springtime right now. You'll notice, I don't understand what kind of trees they use, but you'll see a tree and you'll just see these, it looks like cotton candy on it, all over the tree. And inside of it is caterpillars. They start out as a little bug, a little caterpillar. And they make a cocoon. And then, I don't know how long the gestation is, but when they come out a full-grown butterfly. So the destroyers are within the nation itself. That's what he's getting at. Just like in Judges 20, when the Benjamites was being patereo, and he sent Judah in. And when they were warring, then he had Judah burn the city down while they was at war. And although he sent people in. We can drop this Jeremiah. Now, as far as caterpillars, give me the first video. Let's go to I'm trying to remember the name of it. I didn't even write it on here. It's synagogue. Yeah, synagogue attack. We'll play this.
To a large Michigan synagogue yesterday. Fox 4's Stephen Dial joins us now with the latest. And also, Stephen, you've got new video of the attacker.
FBI officials gave an update to the media saying that the 41-year-old suspect was killed by him shooting himself after that shootout with a security officer. We also learned today that the gunman lost 4 family members in an Israeli airstrike in his native Lebanon just last week. Ayman Mohammed Ghazali was a naturalized U.S. citizen. The FBI says that he sat in a parking lot for nearly 2 hours before ramming into Temple Israel in West Bloomfield. He drove down a hallway in a car that then caught fire. More than 100 children and about 30 staff members were inside the synagogue at the time of the attack. Officials calling it an act of violence targeting the Jewish community. The FBI says that he had no criminal history and did not own any registered guns, so it's not clear where he got the rifle he used in the shootout.
He begins firing through the windshield of his vehicle. Ghazali and the first security officer engage in a gunfight through the rear window of Ghazali's vehicle. And at this point, Ghazali is unable to extract himself due to the vehicle being jammed in the hallway. His engine compartment catches on fire, and at some point during the gunfight, Ghazali suffers a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head.
Now, what you're looking at is new video of Ghazali. He was seen at a store buying a lot of fireworks days before the attack. It's the first video of him prior to the shootout with the security officer at the temple. The FBI says that they found fireworks and jugs of what they think is gasoline in the back of the truck. Ghazali was granted U.S. citizenship in 2016, a local official in Lebanon told the Associated Press that Ghazali's 2 brothers and a niece and nephew were killed at their home in the airstrike just after sunset as they were having their fast-breaking meal during Ramadan. One security officer that was hit by the vehicle did not suffer any life-threatening injuries. 30 additional law enforcement officers were treated for smoke inhalation. No children or staff were injured.
What you take out there, Roy?
I'm being honest, I'm in love with conspiracy theories. I think all this be set up just for false flags and continue the narrative of anti-Semitism.
I get that, the false flag stuff, but they just glossed over it, right? They're trying to make, the point they're trying to make is somebody attacking the Jewish community. But yeah, but
It's a lot more lately.
yeah, but they need this.
Yeah, that's what, yeah.
They need this.
It takes that narrative away from us.
But what they gloss over is this man lost his entire family. He was the only one left. He's from Lebanon. So when this war picked back up, Iran started attacking, or when they started attacking Israel back from being bombed, Israel also started bombing Hezbollah in Lebanon. That's happening right now. And Hezbollah is shooting rockets. But see what they do, they just go and carpet bomb. Instead of going directly after Hezbollah, they go and freaking carpet bomb. They've killed hundreds of people. It's not even on the news. They've killed hundreds of people in Lebanon. His entire family got wiped out. Why do you think he's sitting in the car for 2 hours? He's lost everything, man. I don't know what is wrong with these Edomites. They do it. They go berserk all the time. Somebody touch them. But then they're gonna try to minimalize it. And then when their people do something, they want to look at this what the person was going through. But when it comes to other people, y'all, they don't give a damn. Let's go to Habakkuk. Habakkuk chapter 2. You cannot make a snake into another animal. It's going to be a snake. Habakkuk chapter 2. There it is. Start at verse 5.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 5. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine.
His doctrines and his philosophies, the lies that he tell. Oh, we're gonna bomb them and then hit them with democracy. No, you're going to steal every damn thing they got. That's what you're doing.
He is a proud man, neither keepeth.
Hold on, remember earlier we were watching the dude Hegpeth talking about the leaders of Iran are hiding, and they showed them out on the street. He just running his mouth. They're full of pride. Full of pride. Oh, just look at your president. Go ahead.
Neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell.
If you look at the military bases, they got Russia surrounded, they got China surrounded, and they got Iran surrounded. Why you got all these? You don't keep at home? Oh, they're the world police. Go ahead.
And is as death, and cannot be satisfied.
Cannot be satisfied. Go ahead.
But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
So everybody can be underneath him and serve him. Go ahead.
Verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increaseth, that which is not his. How long? And to him that leadeth himself with thick clay.
Ladeth himself with thick clay means bringing heap unto him all nations. Hold on, Daniel. 2. Daniel 2 and verse 43. Yep.
The book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 43. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with merry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
Yeah, so that clay, that miry clay, or what it said in Habakkuk, that thick clay is talking about all the nations that he is heaped unto himself to serve underneath him. Verse 7, Habakkuk 2 and 7.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them.
Right. So they're going to rise up against you. What do you expect? What happens? This is why we have, the Lord gave us the law of the stranger when they're sojourning on our land. He said, don't vex them. What do you think is going to happen when you vex people? They're going to rise up against you. The stupidity, the ignorance. And then Christians talking about we don't have to keep them commandments.
They're going to retaliate.
You damn skipping. Go ahead.
Verse 8. Because thou hast spoiled many nations.
That spoil means destroy many nations, man. Go ahead.
All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee.
Yep. So when you look at, okay. Remind me of this later. When you bomb places, those people, them civilians, they got to get away from that. They leave, and where do they go? They seek refuge. They go right to Europe. They go right to Europe. Who is America? Who is the U.S. bombing? Think about it. They bombed Iran. They bombed Libya. They bombed Azerbaijan. They bombed yeah, even the Christian ones, like, because Azerbaijan is Christian. But all them nations over there, all of them people do what? They go to Europe. They migrate to Europe. That is what's one of the things pissing them off. When you look at the EU, like, wait a minute, the U.S. is doing all this stuff. Where these people, where these refugees going? Because you got Edomites saying that Europe ain't even Europe no more. Go ahead.
Verse 8. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee because of men's blood.
Right. That guy didn't just go over there and attack the Jewish synagogue for nothing. He didn't just wake up one day and like, I hate the Jewish people. Let me go and attack them.
You're right. He could. And for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein.
So that's why that stuff happens. Now, let's deal with the Jewish folks a little bit more before we get into America. Give me OnlyFans, Jewish OnlyFans first.
We're not gonna show anything crazy. Just pay
attention. So how holy this war is. This is the founder of OnlyFans. Now, OnlyFans is a porn site. It's just like sex workers. I'm not really exactly sure what they do on OnlyFans, except there's a lot of sex and a lot of nudity, and a lot of guys pay a lot of money for it. And this guy, this is Leonid Radvinsky. He is worth about $8 billion. He is the #1 funder of AIPAC. So he's making money off of porn, which also a rabbi owns Pornhub, by the way. And he's making all this money off of creating a degenerate society, reeling Americans and maybe others around the world into degeneracy, ruining families, ruining wholesomeness in America, going totally against Christian values, making a fortune off of it, using that fortune to then fund AIPAC, which is, of course, the lobby group that pretty much talked all of our politicians into getting us into this war. So that is the root of why we're even in this. It's AIPAC, it's Epstein that ended up blackmailing a bunch of our government officials, maybe even Donald Trump. Otherwise, I don't know how this makes any sense at all. Trump was questioned about getting into the war and he says, well, I had to. What do you mean by that? Are you being blackmailed by the Epstein files? And this is a Christian holy war that God has anointed? That's really the argument here. That this is holy, this is wholesome, that this is sanctioned, this is a wonderful thing. And meanwhile, you've got porn and Epstein and the slaughter of children. You can still tell yourself that this was some sort of a prophecy of God's. Has it not occurred to you that maybe you're actually the evil one? Could it be that you're wrong on who is who in this battle? Because I just have a really hard time believing that God is behind the guy that's making Pornhub and OnlyFans and the Epstein files is all part of God's plan. I just have a hard time believing that.
It's obvious it's just a matter of time. They haven't figured out that we're the people, but they're starting to understand they are not by far. They are too wicked and too evil. That whole thing, like they're so on the OnlyFans is owned by them and Pornhub is owned by them. And they use this to keep everybody in a state of debauchery. To keep people in sin, to keep them focused on other things while they take over the world. And then if you say, oh, they control the media, oh, you're antiseptic. Yeah, that's the thing now. You say antiseptic.
Oh.
That's how people getting around there. You know what I'm saying? Them keywords. But they're behind all of this stuff. They're behind our slave trade. They're behind all the world wars that's going on in the world. Because you can find Bibi Milakowski, not Netanyahu. His name's Milakowski. You can go back 40 years, and he's saying, well, if we fight against Iran, then it'll be peace in the Middle East. Oh, if we fight against Iraq, I can guarantee you it'll be peace in the Middle East. No, not as long as y'all bastards over there. It ain't going to be no peace. Which brings us to the next one. So why there was a man that had this short mustache, and that man did not want them people in his country. And there's a reason for it. I had this video. I can't find it no more, but
I was trying to hold it.
But hey, people are starting to, when you look in the comments, because you know how now stuff happen, everybody goes straight to the comment section. They just want to go, and people be like, I'm here for the comments. And one of the comments I saw was this glass case, and it had a Nazi uniform in it, and it said break in case of emergency. Like, yo, people starting to be like, wait a minute, this dude might have been right. So play the next video, Jews of Germany. Watch what they were doing in Germany.
The first Nazi book burning took place in 1933. Nazis raided the Berlin Institute of Sexology, founded by Magnus Hirschfeld, who was a gay and Jewish sexologist and physician. Nazis seized all books from the institute and publicly burned them, destroying material on transsexualism, homosexuality, and gender identity. They also burned pornography as it was considered sexually degrading and immoral. Nazis believed pornography was harmful to society. They believed family and cultural values had been replaced by moral decay. Everything I just described is exactly how so many of us feel about what's going on today. This is a speech at the first book burning. Yes to decency and morality in family and state. Here, the intellectual foundation of the November Republic is sinking to the ground. But from these ashes, the phoenix of a new spirit will rise. They never fucking give up, do they? Just kidding, of course. That would be incredibly anti-Semitic to think that that was wrong for them to remove that from society, when obviously that was helping society.
It just shows you that they, behind the scenes, they've been doing this stuff for a long time. They destroy civilizations. They destroy kingdoms. They take them over. And like the man with the small mustache was saying, there's so few of them, but they control so many things. They're in all forms of government. They making laws. See, one of the things, like they keep highlighting when they get attacked, even though they commit all the atrocities in the world, when they get attacked, they're in there where they can make laws, and then they'll come up, and be like, okay, we need to do something about this. We need to make some laws because this is a hate crime. You say something about them, and that's a hate crime. They don't want you to look at them. That's for sure. To look in their past, find out who they are.
In that glass house. I was trying to find that picture, man. I can't find it. It's a murder second.
You try NAZI in a glass.
I tried 3 different ways.
Bro, them memes be funny. I'm sure I got it on the computer somewhere. It'd just be hard to find it. All right. So after all of that, now they burnt them books. They did all that stuff because they knew that they was bringing down that country. So he wanted to save his people. He wanted what was best for his people and for his country. And he knew that they were destroying that. They're the ones that talked America into getting involved and winning World War II. That's how they got in the land. Speaking of which, let's go to the next video. Israel becomes a state. So after all of that, then Israel becomes a state. Yeah, State of Israel. Nah, it's on Facebook, though.
Joined Premier Ben-Gurion
search
in the government.
on Facebook.
The Jewish patriot became president as Israel went before the United Nations to seek a place in that world body. The Middle Eastern Arabic nations were in violent opposition, and when Israel was voted a membership, they walked out in a body. For the rest of the day, their seats remained empty, but they returned the next morning to no further incident. Thus, history was made as the Jewish state of Israel was born. Conceived in strife and weaned on violence, Israel has flourished to become a constructive voice in world affairs. Her flag became a symbol of hope.
So I don't know if y'all noticed that. So there's two things to take out of that. When they got voted in, the Arab countries walked out. They only did it for a day, but what else can they do? That's their form of showing protest. And ever since then, it's been unrest over there. What did it say in John 8? John 10 and 10. The thief cometh not, but to steal, kill, and destroy. Who are they? Give me Thessalonians real quick. 2 Thessalonians. I think I want 6. Let me get there. Two and damn, start at 6. So who was pretending or saying that they were Jews at this time and wasn't? Yep. Herod and Agrippa, all of them.
The book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2 and verse 6. And now ye know that withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time.
He might be revealed in his time. Come on.
For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now lateth will let, until he be taken out of the way.
So the Lord is letting him do what he does because he has a purpose for him until he be taken out the way. The Lord going to take him out the way. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
Oh.
And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
So he's going to consume him with the spirit of his mouth, meaning his words. Yeah, we can see that now. He's being revealed to us now. And with the brightness of his coming, he's going to be destroyed when he come in. Go ahead.
Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders.
Come on.
And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
Right. You good. You good. So our people that will not listen and they follow after them folks, they're not going to be saved. They don't want the truth. They love not the truth, which is what?
Sin.
They love not the truth. I'm just saying, what is the truth? Yeah, the commandments. They love not the commandments. That's the bottom line of everything.
I thought you was saying they love the opposite. Well, yeah, same thing.
So now let's go. Give me deployment. The first one. So this is about World War III. We're already in World War III. But now they finally talking about putting boots on the ground.
To the Wall Street Journal and Fox News that the Pentagon is sending the USS Tripoli, a Marine amphibious ready group, and the 31st MEU Marine Expeditionary Unit to the Middle East. The Tripoli is stationed out of Japan. It's going to take about 2 weeks to get there, and accompanying the ARG and the MEU are about 2,500 Marines. This was first reported by Laura Sigelman at the Wall Street Journal. Excuse me. This is important. Marines can do a lot of things. They can help evacuate people. They can bolster forces at the embassy. They can take a beach. But the important point is more and more U.S. forces are being moved into the Middle East, and they're being moved away from places like Asia, South America, Europe. It is continuing to consolidate our military resources in a way that I think is overcommitting us. I've warned, the war in Iran is bigger than Iran. It can become a sucking chest wound for our military.
So they're gonna put boots on the ground over there, and everybody's saying from the beginning this is such a bad idea. But why won't he stop? Because they full of pride. But the Lord is the one pulling the strings. The Father is the one. He just controlling everybody. You cannot, like it say in Romans, who can resist his will? Why would you do something so stupid? The country is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Iran is bigger than the U.S. But you want to send, you going to put boots on the ground over there and try to control those people? You know, like I was telling y'all earlier, the saying that they got now is you can't bomb democracy into somebody. They know that ain't how you do it anyway. So now give me deployment 2.
Thousands of U.S. Marines are expected to be sent, though it's not yet clear how they would be deployed. President Trump said today that the Islamic Republic will be hit very hard over the next week. Let's go straight to Washington and our State Department correspondent Tom Bateman. What more do we know about these deployments?
Sophie, this is a deployment of the USS Tripoli, which is an amphibious assault ship, alongside up to 5,000 troops, about half of which it is thought will be US Marines. Now, this is a task force that is trained in things like carrying out amphibious landings, securing maritime chokeholds. So exactly the kind of situation that the global shipping industry is currently facing in the Strait of Hormuz. Now, this is not a public official announcement by the Trump administration, but is being briefed by US officials tonight. flight. This task force is currently in Japan. It would take them about 2 weeks to reach the Middle East. At the same time, US bombing raids have continued into Iran all day. I was in a briefing earlier with Pete Hegseth, the Defense Secretary, saying this would be the highest number of strikes today, and US Central Command releasing pictures of nighttime bombing raids by B-2 stealth bombers. At the same time, President Trump is continuing to threaten escalation to the Iranian regime. Meanwhile, the message for Americans back at home has been very much about him dictating the course of this conflict. He was asked today, when would it be over? And he said, soon. He said, this will end when he feels it in his bones.
Tom Bateman, thank you. Well, the US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said the US and Israel have so far hit 15,000 targets since the war began 2 weeks ago tomorrow. The United States is now offering a $10 million reward for anyone with information about the whereabouts of Iran's leaders. America claims that Iran's new supreme leader is in hiding, wounded, and likely disfigured after the initial strikes that killed his father and other members of his family. The US says Iran's Air Force, Air Defense, and Navy have been completely destroyed, and you can see here the extent of the strikes by the US and Israel.
They sound like gangsters. Yeah, they are gangsters. Yeah, but when you listen to their speech, they sound like gangsters. And everybody is their ops. Their opposition. It's crazy. So they want to put boots on the ground. First Trump is talking about it's going to be over when I say it's over, and we're almost done. There's nothing left to bomb. And now all of a sudden, sending in troops. This thing is going to grow. You ain't denying. You can't stop the will of the Lord. You cannot stop it. Just like, it's another thing we need to watch, y'all. With Trump, remember, the Lord, we're coming up on Passover. The Lord kept hardening Pharaoh's heart. Yeah. Damn, we got to pay attention to that.
Dang, how many plagues
Man, about to catch them plagues. Something else real quick, y'all. Pull up Karg Island. I want to show y'all the hypocrisy of these people, man. Yes, pictures. It's in the pictures.
What's it called?
Scene. Click on it.
Karg Island, Trump Karg Island.
Yep.
When we read it, you want to wait to pop up.
Yeah, you can read it. Your mic.
Oh. My bad.
Karg Island obliterated. Moments ago, at my direction, the United States Central Command executed one of the most powerful bombing raids in the history of the Middle East and totally obliterated every military target in Iran's crown jewel, Karg Island.
That language again.
Read everything or highlight it?
Yeah, read everything.
Our weapons are the most powerful and sophisticated that the world has ever known. But for reasons of decency, I have chosen not to wipe out the oil infrastructure on the island. However, should Iran or anyone else do anything to interfere with the free and safe passage of ships through the Strait of Hormuz, I will immediately reconsider this decision. During my first term and currently, I rebuilt our military into the most lethal, powerful, and effective force by far anywhere in the world. Iran has no ability to defend anything that we want to attack.
Man, that is so much pride. And look, this is where they keep their reserve at. If when you zoom in, like you can Google it and zoom in on it, and you just see tank after tank after they got all them big tanks of oil right there. He's basically telling them, we're going to go in there and we're going to take it over, and you better not even try. You better not try now. I don't know how many miles that is. What, 10,000 miles or something? I don't know. Yeah, if the U.S. is 2,500 from one side to the other, it's got to be close to 10,000 miles away. And you're going to tell them folks that you're going to take their stuff and they bet not even try to do nothing about it.
And strategically, you would have lost, you could have been straight.
Yep. Let me tell y'all something real quick. So the water is shallow in the Strait of Hormuz. But they have midget subs. Midget subs. These small submarines. And they really quiet. They're really quiet and they small. So it's hard to find them. Mm-hmm. And they can torpedo you. And bottom out. And you can't find them. This is why people did not plan the other. This man is so full of pride. He think he can just bully anybody in the name of democracy. Go ahead, Roy.
There is nothing they can do about it. Iran will never have a nuclear weapon, nor will it have the ability to threaten the United States of America, the Middle East, or for that matter, the world. Iran's military and all others involved with this terrorist regime would be wise to lay down their arms and save what's left of their country, which isn't much. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump.
The irony right there. So they will never have a nuclear weapon, which they say they don't want one. Then nor will it have the ability to threaten the United States of America. Those people mind their own damn business. It's the United States of America that's, like we read, keepeth not at home, and is destroying other nations. It said it would be wise to lay down their arms. What? Don't defend themselves? And call them.
The strait is about 104 miles long. That's bold.
Yes, it is. But had the nerve to call them a terrorist regime. I'm not a genius, but I know for a fact that Israel and the United States attacked Iran. You staying at home minding your business is not terrorism. And then 8 or 9 months ago, if I remember correctly, Israel and the United States attacked them back then. And before that, Israel attacked them. And Israel constantly threatened them over and over and over again. So who's the terrorist state? The U.S. and Israel. Everywhere they go. Everywhere they go.
I'm going to pull it up later, but I found a video of Christ floating in there.
All right. Let's go. Now it's time for the main event now. So pull up. Get EU rebukes Trump ready. Let's hit Revelation 17 a little bit. So it's the reason we went to
Revelation 17 now.
Yeah, Revelation 17 is the reason. The reason we went to it's called EU rebukes Trump. Before we hit Revelation, give me Psalms 137 verses 7 and 8. So we went to Jeremiah 51, talking about Babylon, and Babylon had the golden cup, and Babylon spoiled the nations, and therefore the nations were angry, even though the Lord gave him that power, and told the other nations they better put their neck underneath his foot and be in subjection to him. But then he gonna punish Babylon at the same time.
Dang.
Yeah, read that.
You said 1 through 8?
No. 7 and 8.
The book of Psalms, chapter 137, verse 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof.
Like Roy mentioned earlier, that's in Obadiah. When the Babylonians destroyed us, they came and helped them and cut us off, wouldn't let us sneak out. And they said, race it, meaning destroy it. Cheering it on. Go ahead.
O daughter of Babylon.
Daughter of Babylon. So Edom is the daughter of Babylon. The new Babylon. The current Babylon. Go ahead.
Who art to be destroyed.
Who will be destroyed. Go ahead.
Happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones.
All right, now Revelation 17:1.
The book of Revelations, chapter 17 and verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 veils, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
And we read that? That sitteth upon many waters, ruling over many nations. The great whore, committing fornication with all these nations, ruling these nations, taking over these nations, making them serve their gods, take all that damn debauchery and spread it everywhere.
That's why it's the melting pot.
Which also was said by a Jewish man. Came up with that crap. Go ahead, verse 2.
With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast.
America is the woman sitting upon the rest of the Edomites. Your European Union. They're all together. But America sits on top. Go ahead.
Full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Come on.
And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold, and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, and full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
Just like ancient Babylon, that golden cup, and everyone is drinking out of that cup of wrath. Go ahead.
And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
So this is Babylon the Great, which is Edom. Verse 6.
Verse 6. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints.
Who are the saints, y'all?
Them that keep the commandments, Israel.
Israel. The blood of the saints. They've been killing us for 400 plus years. Go ahead.
And with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration.
So how could this place be drunk with the blood of the martyrs of Christ? Because this is ancient Rome. It's ancient Rome come back. That had that deadly wound and was healed. Go ahead.
And the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman, and of the beast that carrieth her, which had the 7 heads and 10 horns.
Jump down to 9.
Verse 9. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains, on which the woman sitteth.
The kingdoms. Over time, these are all the Edomite kingdoms. Go ahead.
And there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space.
He must continue a short space. Go ahead.
And the beast that was and is not.
Rome.
Even he is the 8th.
Oh.
And is of the 7, and goeth into perdition.
So this beast that was and is not, talking about Rome, even he is the eighth. It's revised Rome in America. And of the seventh, came out of the seventh. In the United States of America, the Englishman is the one that rules over here. The Englishman. And where did he come from? England. He came out of the seventh. The seventh kingdom was Great Britain. They ruled until the U.S. dropped the bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That's when the United States became the world power. And the British lost it. They were the last empire before this one. That's why the Queen Elizabeth, when she died, she had that crown that had all these jewels that came from different countries where they stole this stuff from. Because they was ruling over the earth, man. Go ahead.
Verse 12. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast.
So they receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. So when was it? Look up when did the European Union and NATO come into existence? It's probably going to be around 40s, late 40s into the 50s. Yeah. Either one. Because NATO came to be because of World War II. And the European Union, I believe, came around the same time for the same reason.
This has got the European Union founded in 1993. It's got NATO in 1949.
So before it was the United Nations, it was League of Nations. Huh?
It says the process began with the Inner Six Nations, Belgium, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, and West Germany in the late 1940s and 1950s.
That was called. It was called. Yeah. So that's called the League of Nations. So after World War II is when they started making these organizations. So it was the League of Nations first, then it became United Nations. That all sprang off of World War II. So in World War II they made them.
League of Nations 1920.
Oh wow! So that was before. So they came up with the machine gun, with flamethrowers, with chemical weapons. They used all that stuff on each other in World War II. That's when they came up with the Nuremberg and the what they call it. It came up with international law. It was all a result of World War II, because of how white folks was killing white folks, which they don't follow. Which brings me to the next point. Carg Island. No, we did cluster bombs. Cluster bombs. Yeah. The irony of this. So, if you go on social media, you scroll long enough, you're going to run across where Iran has been hitting Israel with cluster bombs. Cluster bombs are illegal. But why read this? The irony.
The Convention on Cluster Munitions prohibits all use, production, transfer, and stockpiling of these weapons. Signatories. More than 100 nations are parties to the treaty, including most NATO members as of 2025. Non-signatories. Major military powers, specifically the U.S., Russia, China, Ukraine, Israel, and Iran are not part of the convention.
So Israel and Iran not even part of the convention. They don't even believe in that. But the Israeli people is complaining, saying they're using cluster bombs, which is illegal. What? Bombing a school with 163 little girls in it is illegal too. Yeah, it's a war crime. They have made the U.S. and Israel has made international law a freaking joke. It's a joke. Right. Don't make no damn sense. Back to Revelation 17. Where were we at? Oh, yeah. We read 12, right?
Yeah, we got 13.
Yeah, read 13.
The book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 13. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful.
Now in verse 13 it said, these have one mind and shall give their power and strength to the beast. So the European Union has been with, ever since World War II, when they came together, they have been with the United States and done whatever the United States has said to do. Number one behind them has usually been Great Britain. Like Tony Blair and them, they always been like right in sync with the United States. What was it? The WMD, Iraq. They was in there side by side. And all of those European nations, giving weapons, giving some kind of support. They all been on one accord. So they have given their mind to the beast, which is America. And their strength.
Verse 15?
Yeah, verse 15.
And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues.
Right. So now it's time for the video. We're going to say the last 3 verses until after the video. The video is kind of long, y'all. But just listen. This is the EU nations you can see them turning on the United States. Now they're going to keep mentioning this woman named Ursula von der Leyen. She's like a prime minister of Germany or something, one of them countries over there. Or she might be the head of the EU. I'm not sure. Yeah, Ursula von der Leyen, that's a German name. But they're directing most of what they're saying at her, and pay close attention to what they're saying. They're turning on the United States. Remember I said, when the U.S. and Israel bombs all those countries, those refugees go where? They go to Europe. So the European countries are getting the short end of the stick. Yeah, go ahead, play that.
On Iran, yet claim to stand with the Iranian people. Now I dare you to say that to the eyes of that 7-year-old girl, her backpack still beside her desk, that was killed when a US Tomahawk missile hit her elementary school. Dare to admit to the 167 other victims in that school that you are offering European bases to US killing machines. Tell the families of Tehran, a city of 10 million people, that you support the chemical warfare of Israel as they poison the air with toxic fires and black rain that will cause cancers for decades. Tell the Iranian people how much you really love them, while from Golestan to Chehel Sotun, Western bombs damage century-old cultural heritage. Afghanistan, Libya, Syria, Iraq, your bombs never brought democracy and never will. They bring chaos, death, destruction, and the unbearable silence of children who will never come home.
Mr. Volgin now, please. Днес е модерно да бъде оплакван основания на правила.
It is today to bemoan the end of the world order. People say that there is no more any international order. Well, there has never been any international order. After the Cold War, there was no rule-based order. It was always the United States who ruled the order of the day, on the pretext of fighting authoritarian regimes and exporting democracy while serving their own interests by introducing puppet governments. And only very foolish people can think that this is a rule-based order. Take what the United States did in Iraq 20 years ago, what they do now in Iran. At the time, Washington, in all of its hypocrisy, insisted that it was all democracy in Iraq. They do not use that language anymore today. They only need someone who would toe their line. Democracy is the last thing they are interested interested in. Either Trump or previous presidents, they never cared about it. All they care about is US supremacy.
The European Union doesn't care anymore about international law. As most EU leaders have failed to condemn the attacks of Israel and United States against Iran. We can't defend international law only when it benefits us, like it happens in the war in Ukraine. But we need to be critical when our allies violate it on a regular basis. Even if EU leaders don't care about morals, at least they should care about European citizens, because they are the ones that are going to pay the consequences of this illegal war. An energy crisis will hit every single European household. And on top of this, EU citizens in my country, Cyprus, fear for their lives because Iran could keep retaliating with more drone attacks. I truly believe that it's both possible to be against the authoritarian regime in Iran and at the same time against the illegal military actions by our allies. So please, colleagues, let's speak up and clearly say no to war. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, President. Ladies and gentlemen, you and von der Leyen want Europe to be part of an illegal war led by the US and Israel. Of course, you don't want your own kids to go to the war. Well, if you want a war, then you should go. But keep our sons and daughters at home. Who is Ms. von der Leyen speaking on behalf of? She's speaking on her own behalf, not on mine. Given the situation in Palestine, this woman should be judged or tried as a war criminal. Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, these are wars for oil, for power, and it is putting us in danger so that Trump can create a luxury resort on the ruins of Gaza so that his kids can make money investing in oil 2 days before bombing Iran. Ladies and gentlemen, while we're in NATO, whether we want to or not, we are complicit in these illegal wars. We need to act now. We need to control food, energy and transport prices. We need to make no to war a reality. Socialists, liberals, Greens who have voted for her, let's isolate her. Let's get out of NATO. I don't know what we're waiting for.
Real quick, y'all, we're going to run to Daniel chapter 7. Because you can see that they're starting to disagree with the rest of the beast, with the head of the beast, the U.S. and frickin' Israel. Daniel chapter 7, this is what's going to happen with them. Daniel chapter 7 and verse 11.
The book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 11. I beheld then because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake. I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed, and given to the burning flame.
Right, this is America. This is what's going to happen to America. Right, but remember, they're riding upon the rest of the beast, which is Europeans. Verse 12.
Verse 12. As concerning the rest of the beast.
Right, the rest of the beast. Go ahead.
They had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and time.
Right. So they're going to be prolonged. America getting destroyed. And they're going to be serving us in the kingdom. These folks over here, done. Done. Gone. You can drop this. Go back to the video.
On Iran, yet claim to stand with the Iranian people. Now I dare you to say that to the eyes of the
out of NATO. I don't know what we're waiting for.
Merci, Madame. Yes, thank you very much, President. Minister, Mrs. von der Leyen. Mrs. von der Leyen, I've come along here with a very simple but essential slogan, no to war. And to those who propagate it, if you take a look at the war being waged by the United States and Iran in Iran and Lebanon, it's fully illegal under international law, especially when we knew that the negotiations on the nuclear aspects were coming to their close, and Iran probably going to end their enrichment program. Who really seriously thinks that you can install democracy with bombs. Have you not learnt anything from Iraq and Afghanistan? These bombs kill blindly, for example, like the Minab school, with over 100 young Iranians being killed. Very often it's the civil populations who are the victims. And 750,000 people and very many children have had to flee to survive, because the objective of Benjamin Netanyahu is to turn Beirut into the new Gaza, and this in Lebanon. And this because you, Mrs. von der Leyen, have been incapable of halting him in what he's doing in Palestine. So he's doing it all over again. Mr. Bardella has talked about the situation in Iran, but you're on the side of the executioners, Mr. Netanyahu and Mr. Trump. So no to war and imperialist objectives. And we've seen that the leaders of the United States and Israel, the battle is elsewhere. Take a look at the Strait of Hormuz. We know that Trump is focusing on these aspects of what's going on in the world to evade the Epstein files. The far right, the Israeli far right, is continuing with its colonialist genocide projects in Israel. The Golan Heights yesterday and now Lebanon, they're filling it with white phosphorus through their bombs. So no to war and no to European complicity. Europe has to stand side by side with the people, the citizens, and Europe has to finally break the association agreement with Israel and that with Trump. And instead of that, Mrs. von der Leyen, you're incapable of defending international law. You're not condemning what's going on. You're encouraging it. And no word for the victims of this these fascist actions. Is this because of cowardice or something else? So do not count on us to continue supporting you here. No to war. Do not feel that this, or believe that this war is not without consequences for the European people. We've seen that oil and gas prices are going up at the petrol pump. No to the war, block the prices. Croatia has already done this, so what are you waiting for? Dear colleagues, Europe is facing a historical choice, war or peace. Spain has already shown the path that we should follow by refusing the war. Let's follow them and defend the international law in the face of brutal violence. No to war, as Albert Camus said. Peace is the only conflict that it's worth waging war over. So we want to go back to the rules-based order in the face of what's going on. So make your choice, Mrs. von der Leyen.
Grazie, Presidente. Thank you, President. Mrs. von der Leyen, what an honour to have you here. We don't see you all that often. I quite honestly imagined that you'd be on the phone with Trump, trying to decide the outcome of the war. But actually, it was Putin who was on the phone to Trump. During this war, you've done absolutely nothing so far, Mrs. von der Leyen. You said that you were concerned. Now, clearly, it's not Mrs. von der Leyen who talks about this kind of thing, but some people are irresponsibly applauding this war because they're talking about exporting democracy. But Europe, as a result of this war, has fallen into an even greater crisis. So let's ditch the Green Deal, let's reopen the oil, gas and fertilizer taps from Russia, and let's act in our own interests. Because those who launched and are running this war are looking after their own interests, and you just simply have no contact with them.
Gracias, Presidenta.
Thank you very much, President, Commission, Council. The attack against Iran may ensnare Europe into an illegal war. It is against international law. It is a war we do not want or need. Neither does Iran or the Middle East. The war makes us poorer, there's higher prices, more instability. And this war militarily makes us more vulnerable. It opens up a new front on an existing war against Russia. And in humanitarian terms, leads to more suffering. And the Iranian people are forced into being adversaries or exiles. This is repeating the destiny of Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria. Mrs. von der Leyen, being brave means not going to war, standing up to Trump, saying that Europe defends itself from Brussels and not Washington. Thank you.
Obrigado, President. Thank you, President. Mrs. Ribeiro-Gina, were you referred to previous wars in the Middle East, wars carried out by the US against Iraq, Syria, Yemen, etc. And the question is, we've got this whole series of wars that have destabilized the Middle East when the US was directly involved. Isn't it time for the President of the Commission to criticize this US attack on Iran rather than making a speech as she did today, which was looking to find reasons why the EU should continue to be subservient to the United States?
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much. I think, as was clearly said in the speech, Europe has to be stronger, has to strengthen international law. This war, we have seen from the very first moment, is an illegal war. Europe needs to decide where it stands. We need a Europe that defends international law, that decides on its place in the world, and once again, not stand on the side of the interests of Washington, but the interests of European citizens. Thank you.
Dear Chair, Ms. Rauna, we're seeing Mr. Trump out of control and Mr. Netanyahu, who is officially a war criminal. They have opened the gates of hell in the Middle East and for the peoples of Europe as well. We're not talking about democracy. Democracy does not exist in Iran, but it does not exist in the other Gulf countries as well. So democracy cannot be enforced by bombs. Let's be honest. It's all about the oil. So the consequences for the peoples will be huge. Loss of life, about which Ms. von der Leyen is very selective. Very high prices and refugee flows. So we need to give some space to diplomacy and peace, respect international law. We recognize the EU solidarity in Cyprus, but that was not done through the EU. It was done by single countries. So, and Turkey is still there. You need to stand up.
Signora Presidente, prosegue. President, the autocratic colonial alliance between Netanyahu and Trump continues. They're violating all international law and they're showing contempt for UN agencies and the international courts. We've had the genocide of the Palestinian people and now we're seeing an attack on Iran, a land invasion of Lebanon as well, and that feeds into disorder across the world, and there are thousands of civilians who have fallen victim to these conflicts. We need to clearly say to the ambassadors of the US and Israel and call out this violation of international law. EU bases are being used by US troops for the purposes of this war. We need sanctions to prevent genocide and these illegal conflicts, and we also need to prevent this war spilling over into Europe.
È evidente che la sua domanda.
Well, clearly your question suggests a position that isn't my position. I think that international law should be fully implemented, also vis-à-vis the Mullah regime in Iran. But applying international law is one thing, but it's quite another to act against the International Criminal Court, and then it's another again to carry out an illegal war. War is not a way of exporting democracy. You'll recall Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq. We constantly see this crazy US idea to try and export democracy, which actually causes civilian victims all over the world. Thank you.
Gracias, Presidenta.
Thank you, President. Mrs. von der Leyen does not represent us, and she hasn't even stayed here so that we can say this face to face. She'll obviously have gone to take a phone call from her friend Trump. The United States and Israel are pulling us into an illegal war. This is outrageous, but not at all surprising. Ultimately, one is carries out genocide, and the other uses the rule of might is right to dominate the world. But what is unforgivable is that Mrs. von der Leyen wants to push Europe behind them towards this world without rules, which looks down on international law. This world that is championed by Trump, Netanyahu, and Putin, and now Mrs. von der Leyen. This is disgraceful. Her statements have shown that she does not represent the peaceful spirit of Europeans. And with her words, we see that she's undermining the values of the European Union. And here and now, we say, resign now. European citizens do not want to be complicit in another barbarity and are saying loud and clear, no to war, as has the Spanish government. And one question, even though you're not here, Mrs. von der Leyen, please answer my question. Whose side are you on? With an international rules-based order and European values, or those who want to put pay to peace?
All right. So y'all heard a lot of stuff just now. The main thing is they are sick of what the U.S. and the state of Israel is doing because they are the root cause of all the problems in the world. I don't know if they mentioned it or not. Didn't listen to the entire thing. I got up and took a break. But when all that stuff is going on, you destroying these nations, those people end up going to Europe. They come out of Africa. They destroy so many countries in Africa, made them poor, stole their resources. So they be trying to cross the Mediterranean and get to Europe. And then you have the Arab countries, the countries of the East. They migrate and try to go to Europe where it's safe. Because all the bombs is coming from there and going to their countries. So they're trying to go somewhere where they know they're safe at, where bombs aren't being dropped because they're coming from those people. But anyway, the U.S. is losing its grip on worldwide dominance, and even their own people are starting to turn against them. It's slowly happening. Let's go back to Revelation chapter 17. And let's pick back up at 15.
The book of Revelations, chapter 17 and verse 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues.
Right, they're sitting over top of the nations, ruling over the nations. Verse 16.
And the ten horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire.
Right, so these shall hate the whore. They're going to turn on America and hate her, and shall make her desolate and naked, going to expose all of her damn wickedness, and then shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So this is why you'll see a lot of experienced brothers say that it's the EU who's going to make fire come from heaven on this side of the earth. I'll put it that way. Verse 18. No. Verse 17.
For God had put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of God shall be fulfilled.
So they've been on one accord until the time has come, until these things are fulfilled. Because, damn it, I didn't want to go in there. Just jump down to chapter 18 and verse 5.
The book of Revelations, chapter 18 and verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God had remembered her iniquities.
Right. So her sins have come to the full. So the words of God should be fulfilled, meaning their sins have come to the full, and now it's time for them to come down. Verse 18. Yeah, chapter 17 and verse 18.
The book of Revelations, chapter 17 and verse 18. And the woman which thou sawest is the great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth.
So without a doubt, that's the United States of America, a.k.a. Babylon the Great, also known as Sodom and Egypt in Revelation chapter 11. Yep, spiritually, Sodom and Egypt. If you don't think this place is Sodom, just go to Atlanta. Yeah, you ain't got to go to Atlanta.
California, too. Yeah, go outside.
You open up your door in Atlanta and go, what in the patareo is going on here?
Right.
Hey, the book of Acts, chapter 5, and verse 29 through 32. I'll end it with this.
The book of Acts, chapter 5, and verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
Right, rather than men. And who came up with all these Christianity doctrines? Men. Go ahead.
The God of our fathers raised up Jesus, whom ye slew and hanged on a tree. Him have God exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior, for to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins.
And just in case you don't know or understand, a prince is the son of a king. Yeah, so he raised Christ to be a prince. His son, not himself, his son. That's his son. To be a prince and a savior. Go ahead.
Verse 32. And we are his witnesses of these things. And so is also the Holy Ghost, whom God had given to them that obey him.
Right. That obey him. The understanding, the wisdom, the Spirit of God is given to those that obey him. Not just believe in Christ, because if you want to be technical, right? Because you know how people say, they'll say, oh, the Old Testament is done away with. Our buddy. We no longer have, we're not underneath that. We no longer have to go to that. Deuteronomy 18:18 said, when he come, he gonna speak my words, and you have to listen to him. That come out of the Old Testament, sir. Saying if you don't believe on him, you condemned. But no, I'm not held underneath that. Well, that's the law of Moses. Moses was a man after the Lord's heart. Right. Called him his servant. What's in the Ark of the Covenant? Hey, look. Roy said, what's in the Ark of the Covenant? Look. The little
tables.
Yeah, the tables of stone, the commandments. The covenant, that's what it is. The commandments is the covenant itself. Right. All right, y'all, that's been it. These shall hate the whore. So here, their own people hates them and is going to destroy them. That's what you're looking at. We're in World War III. Last verse. Revelation 11 and verse 14.
The book of Revelations, chapter 11 and verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
World War I came, World War II came, and the third woe cometh quickly, and we are in it. We are in it. Even if they stop fighting tomorrow, we are still in the third war. The third woe, the third world war. It has already begun. It begun in 2022 with Russia and Ukraine. Because that is the United States using Ukraine as a proxy to fight against Russia. They want Russia, they want China, and they want Iran. So that's going to do it for today's class. These shall hate the whore. I'm Brother Jacob.
Eliezer.
And Roy on OBS. With that, y'all, we say shalom.
Keep my commandments.